Hey, I'm Carrie. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome for the first time all around. Welcome. I'm Carrieblogger, a career freelancer on Fiverr.com, where I've been selling as a Fiverr Pro verified copywriter for about the past 7 years now. And in today's Chatty, unedited One Take Tuesday video, I'm going to be answering one of the common questions I get all the time, which is honestly super rude and kind of infuriating. And that is, well, as a freelance writer, or just a writer in general, aren't you worried that robots are going to take your job? I mean, do other people get asked that question? Like, I don't know why that comes up at all. It shouldn't, in my opinion, but it's just yet another reason that people think that, in American society anyway, think that I don't have a real job. I guess that's like kind of the way I take it. And if you happen to be watching this video and you know me personally in my real life and you have personally asked me this question, I'm not calling you out, like I'm not mad about it. I think that it's something that I've been thinking about today, and maybe other people on this watching this channel, have also had people ask similar questions, and I don't know why people would ask that, but I guess let's talk through it. I have a 10-minute timer set, so it's 10 minutes of just me rambling in this video. If you want an edited video, check back for Freelance Friday. That's much more calm, planned, somewhat professional. This is just what it is. So the robot thing. Obviously, we are working towards an automated society in a lot of ways. There are a lot of jobs that have been, what's it called? I even wrote a whole website about a company that does this, and there's a word for it, but now I can't think of it. When you replace people with robots. And it's like a word that sounds negative, but it's not. I mean, it is negative for like people's jobs. Gosh. Okay, I'm going to think about it for 3 more seconds and I'm going to move on. No, I don't know. So when robots take your jobs, whatever that word is called, maybe it'll pop up later. As a writer, this happens to me all the time. Like I will literally, if my husband's home, I'll like pause and I'm like, Eric, I'm thinking of a word. It like means this, and I think it starts with C, but I can't think of it. And he just like lists off synonyms until I'm like, yep, that was it. Okay, sorry. This is why. Whatever. Okay, so automation happening in our society. Lots of jobs are being taken, but it's weird to me as both a musician and a writer, things that are what I consider like art fields. I mean, copywriting isn't an art form, but I think it is. And so people say, why as a writer do you think your job is going to exist in 10 years? Don't you think that robots are going to take it? You can put anything into Google's, AI machine-driven tools that are now coming out and are becoming much more robust, and it will pop out language and it'll just make sentences. Like your job isn't essentially that specialized, or it's literally something that a computer can't do. And it's like, okay, I guess. Do we think that that's going to happen like immediately? Because I honestly don't. And you might comment down below and you're like, yes, Carrie, you're crazy. Robots are taking over. You won't have a job. I feel like, there's an art form to this. I think that some very, very basic level of like the cliche, template-driven, dumb, ineffective copywriting could be produced by a robot, because that's kind of what like unskilled copywriters are turning into, is like a robot. Like they read, and I am not saying this about any specific copywriters, obviously, but when I read really bad copy, especially things that I'm being asked to rewrite for clients, they often read like someone read a tutorial online of, you open with this, you say this, you put 3 facts, and then you do this. It's like when an elementary schooler learns the essay form for the first time. It's a very, very structured, and that's just what you're supposed to do. And I think that there is some level of automation that can happen with that kind of very basic writing. But what I like to pride myself on as my job and my unique specialty in this industry is creating something that is more than that. The art of it, the emotion of it, like looking between the lines, taking the information that a client gives to me and working something out of it that may not be explicit in what they said. And I think that robots are a heck of a long way away from that, especially like I mentioned, that I'm reading between the lines And if you want a robot to literally take your 3 facts and form them into a very specific cliche template style thing that is technically correct, then yeah, that's probably happening right now. I mean, even Grammarly, which I've never used, I've seen a billion ads for it, that could be taking the place of proofreaders, just like Microsoft Word's, automated spell checker and grammar checker. Those tools can do a lot, but I still, as a writer, am overriding those spell checker, or not checkers, those like flagging systems. I overwrite them over time. Oh my gosh, I overwrite them all the time because they're not correct. They think they are, but I can see the nuanced picture of what I'm writing, and they are falling for like a fake trap. And as robots, they can't look beyond that and break those rules to do what I do. And so I think that, to summarize all that, no, I don't think robots are taking my job. I think it's a little bit rude to throw another, like, discrediting what I do as being essentially nothing more than a glorified, I don't know, whatever this is, typewriter. Well, typewriter's a machine. I don't know. It's a little bit rude. It hurts my feelings a little bit that I have to like defend myself, I guess, on yet another level about not working enough hours or not having enough stability, or don't you get lonely? That's not a real job. What do you do? It's like, okay, come on. So taking that aside, I don't think it's a real threat. But if you do, how do you kind of like future-proof your job? Oh, I'm so close to that word. I can't remember, because future-proof is another one I use all the time in that copy. I want to come up with this word so badly, but I'm going to ruin my whole video if I just sit here and think about it more. Gosh, darn it. How do you future-proof your job? And I think that it requires skill that is personal, unique, art in things, like things that can't easily be replicated both by other people and by machine. So I think that even though I am just writing stuff up and maybe a machine could do some part of my job, I think that even between me and other copywriters, we each have our own unique writing style. And I don't think that until there is some massive development, I don't think that a machine can have my writing style. Just like they have automated voices, but if you're a voiceover artist, the chances that they're going to create a robot that sounds like you is probably not going to happen. And creating illustrations, like I know that they can make basically like plug and play illustrators that are obviously very basic, but the chance that they can come up with the art and the design and the creativity of what you offer uniquely as you, a person and a provider, that I think is what's going to make us future-proof. And that is going to be a higher end service. So I do think that the automation problem is going to be happening at the lower level of payment, the lower level of investment, where companies, I'll be completely honest, I think that the low end of our spectrum is already kind of overwhelmingly, I don't know if I want to say that, saturated with people who aren't offering skills necessarily that they are fully qualified for, but it does serve a market purpose because people are not heavily investing in those purchases, and they just kind of want something quick and dirty, and it doesn't necessarily matter to them. Is that way too much of an overstatement? That it's not the very best service that they could be purchasing for their business. And I'm not saying that all low price services are like that, of course, but some are. So those can and very likely will be overwritten by robots. So instead of someone purchasing an actual person for a very low sum to proofread something, and they may not assume that they're going to get the very best service out of that person, then yeah, they might choose to use Grammarly or some other like automated proofing system because they think that they can probably get an equally good, just okay, maybe it still has some problems kind of result from either a person or a robot. And yeah, an automated service may be easier to work with, faster turnaround, those kinds of things. But the higher end, really people who are investing in true professional human touch kind of creativity and art and professional skills. There's one more word I can't think of. I don't think that that's going away anytime soon, if ever. All right, thanks for chatting with me. See you next time.